This is her. Her name is Merit Schneider, and she's pushing to ban X entirely in Switzerland, saying that it poses a threat to democracy.
Yeah, they're hiding behind this whole threat to democracy thing. I think all liberals are doing that. They need to stop because we know exactly what they're doing. It's kind of like they were told, oh, call Doge a constitutional crisis. It's like this whole threat to democracy thing. They've been screaming this for years. It's not. None of this is. X is not that. X is a forum for free speech, and everybody can just say the things. It's a big town hall, town square where people can say the things. And if she has, hurt feel-bads by that, then too bad. Don't be on it. If anybody does, don't be on it. Yeah. And man, she needs a burger. God.
Yeah, she really does. There's another photo of her. I mean, you guys.
And if you saw her in 2018, if you saw her, she was.
I have it.
Do you have it?
So this is a photo. This is another photo of her, like right now with her cat. But before this disease, look at her. I mean, she looked completely fine, very, very pretty. It's just a horrible shame what anorexia does to people's minds and bodies. So I hope she gets help, but I also hope she shuts up because Twitter needs to be in existence. Yeah. And she should be using the platform. She can say all the crazy shit she wants to on Twitter. She can write on Twitter that she wants it to go away. But the reason to have it is so that everybody can have a voice.
Right. So, and anybody who's American should be backing that. Liberals too. I'm not sure why they don't, but they should.
And then yesterday, we also made fun of that amazing clip from Margaret Brennan where she was like, I mean, the Holocaust was caused by speech. Yeah, it was totally because of free speech. And she's gotten killed for it. But there was another clip of her, again, her tone about America compared to Europe. It's clear that she's a globalist. It's clear that she has huge problems with JD speaking the truth to Europe. And it's all about the tone. Check out this video of her.
Well, it sounded to a lot of these allies of the United States like they were being described as adversaries or autocrats. It was really the focus here, two things. One of them was migration, and the second was what Vice President Vance calls censorship. He was trying to bring that MAGA message of the enemy within to the global stage. And specifically, he says that European leaders aren't showing that they have strong democracies when they sideline controversial groups. He went out of his way to meet with the head of the AfD. That's a political party that's under investigation in Germany because it's so far right and for potentially conducting extremism. And he mentioned that car ramming in Munich recently conducted by an Afghan migrant as an example of what he says is out of control migration. He says that's proof you've got to bring immigration skeptics into the government.
I love how she's like censorship, like it's not happening. Oh my God, you're out of your mind. And you know what? Other countries, when it comes to this whole migration thing and immigration thing, other countries have very strict laws and they abide by them, letting people into their countries. Why is it that we are not allowed to do that with the left? It's like, and I'm talking European countries do the same thing too. A lot of European countries do. And then, so I look at them and I think, okay, nobody bitches and moans about those countries, but yet when we do it and we want to do it because we haven't done it over the past several years. But if we want to do it and we want to be strict about who comes in here and really do our checks and balances and vet people, that's somehow racist and xenophobic and every other ist and ob. And
and I'll tell you, the countries that are minding their borders are doing a heck of a lot better than the ones that aren't. Because if you look at the UK, if you look at Germany, if you look at where it's been lax, that's where they're having all the problems.
Exactly. I know. But see, this is the thing. But she's living in a fantasy world. She doesn't have to live. She's obviously not living anywhere where illegal immigration affects her or has ever affected her personally. And then on top of that, she thinks that censorship is, in air quotes, like she thinks it's not really a thing. You know what I mean?
Wow. God, the disdain that she clearly had for JD and that. Unbelievable.
And the decline of that show. I mean, I think we talked about this with Sean Spicer the other day, how it went on the air in 1954. And I'm not saying that like everybody that's hosted it has been great, because there's probably been a lot of liberals who have hosted the show, but she is the worst person to host that show. Like, way to run it into the ground.
Yeah, she's just absolutely awful. What I do love about JD Vance, especially, is that now that he's VP, he is not changing at all. And he's every bit as vocal on X as he ever was. He's not toning it down. Like, he's not censoring himself in any way. And Mehdi Hasan, I know we've already talked about him once again, but he went after JD on X yesterday saying, hey, JD, I know you're busy lecturing the Europeans on free speech, but have you seen this? And it was a tweet from Mark Caputo saying President Trump's decision to limit AP reporters' access is as much fight over the Gulf of America as it is a protest of what White House advisors say is years of liberal word choices that AP's influential style book has spread across mainstream media. And JD responded saying, yes, dummy. I think there's a difference between not giving a reporter a seat in the White House press briefing room and jailing people for dissenting views. The latter is a threat to free speech. The former is not. Hope that helps.
Yeah, dumbass. Hope that helps. I swear.
God, I love that.
Right. And then you compare the how transparent this administration is to the last 4 years. They've all talked and been communicative with us more than anybody has in the past 4 years. Yep. It's staggering. And they will just keep pushing. They'll try to keep pushing buttons. People like Mehdi Hasan. Just shut up. Shut up.
And then lastly, because we did talk about the 60 Minutes show, it was just like a 15-minute segment of 60 Minutes this past Sunday where they interviewed all kinds of people in Germany who thought it was great that they are going after, with police, with jail time, with stiff fines, people who are simply expressing opinions on the internet. And the crazy thing, as you're about to hear from Guy Benson, is that there was no alternate view. And that's what made this particular segment especially egregious. Here's Guy to explain.
No single clip does justice to this 13-minute segment on 60 Minutes. It is almost unbelievable to watch. I encourage people to do so. It really confirms a key thesis of the vice president's speech in Germany. The Germans themselves confirming to CBS, this is how we do things. We don't really believe in free speech. We believe in censorship very strongly. And the tone of the CBS report was enthralled. The CBS correspondent seemed almost envious of the German system. And one thing I'll say about it is, having watched it now twice, there were 5 interviews done. 5 people featured on camera over the course of the interview. All 5 of them were in favor of government censorship of free speech. 3 prosecutors, a pro-censorship activist, and a pro-censorship left-wing politician. Not even a 15-second clip for a pretense of balance from someone who opposes government censorship of free speech in the CBS clip. So really confirming and fortifying what Vance has said here at home about the media and what he said in Munich to the Germans about their own country. He was not wrong.
Yeah, it's called propaganda. And Germany, as we've seen in the past, is pretty good at that. So
yes,
it's a little alarming.
Yes, they are. They do have a bit of a history with that sort of thing.
Yeah. Maybe don't repeat history. Oh my God.